What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I am actually using a video that I shot earlier this year. I did a 90-day video challenge with a friend of mine, and this was the video from the 90th day. And these are the 7 things that I learned throughout the 90-day video challenge. And that challenge was an awesome thing for me to do to really get used to creating the content on a consistent basis for the agency and for my brand. I'd always done it for my office, but this allowed me to really start thinking that way for chiropractors, and learned a lot along the way and shared some of those tips in this video. So hope you guys find some value here, and let me know what you think. Hope you enjoy.
What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick Silveri with Leverage Media. We are on day 90 of the 90-day video challenge. Excited to have reached the end. Excited to go forward beyond this. But today I wanted to take an opportunity to look back and reflect a little bit on what I learned on the video challenge, how that can help you in your practice, and just how you can start to create more content. I got my man BJ Palmer here with me, the original chiropractic content marketer. So let's get started. All right. So and I'm also going to talk about the final stats and the final damage to my competitor in the 90-day video challenge. So number 1 is do your creative stuff in the morning. A lot of times, so we had a deadline of midnight Eastern, which is 11 Central. And so whenever I was, a lot of times when I was going to bed, I'd be like, oh, I haven't done a video yet. And so I'd come in here, I'd turn the lights on, I'd try to come up with something that happened throughout the day that I could use as some kind of content. And what I found was whenever I did it in the morning, like when I'm doing it here, I take a little bit of time to write down my thoughts. I, think through it. I even have time to practice it a little bit. My first meeting's not till 8:45 every morning. So between like 8 and 8:45, I've got, some downtime. I usually use that to kind of plan out the day. But if I've got if I'm thinking about the video in the morning, they're usually a lot more coherent, I guess, and also usually a lot more valuable because it's not me just trying to come up with an idea at the end of the day because I got to get it done. So anything you got to do creative, it seems like, at least for me, my brain works a whole lot better first thing in the morning, after I've done my morning ritual. Number 2, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I think the reason why, for me at least, the more that I do something, I don't like wasting time. I don't like just doing stuff for the sake of doing it. So as I do things, I used to be like this when I've had other jobs, like when I was in college or in high school. When I would work, I'd work these menial jobs, whether it was checking in groceries or filing things at the bank or being the teller. But whenever I would get into these things where I had to do them over and over and over every day, I would just make it a game and I would try to become better at it. Like I was the fastest checker at the HEB that I worked at in high school. I sold the most women's shoes in all of Famous Bar, which is now Macy's, when I was in chiropractic school. I was fantastic at being a teller. Like I was never out of balance. So like I just kind of gamify things that I have to do over and over and over again. And with content, I have found the way that I've always done it with my office is that I've batched it. So we'll do like a sprint and we'll create a bunch of content and then we'll drip it out after it gets edited and drip it out over the course of like a month. And that's what I recommend to my clients as well, just because it's easier to, when you're really busy seeing patients, is to get it all done in one sitting and then you can drip it out. But if you're going to be doing daily content, I think that it gets easier as you do more of it, because you don't want to just be sitting here doing, giving no value. So you start to try to come up with better ideas. Now that the 90-day video challenge is done and I've kind of completed it and I've been using this as kind of like as a testing ground, now I'm going to start creating more polished content. I'm going to be outside, like this is my office, like almost all the videos were done in here. Now I'm going to start getting out into the world more, looking for interesting things to have in the video, interesting people. And so now it's like I'm going to continue doing a daily live video, but a lot of it may be me producing the videos that I'm going to eventually edit and create as ads and produced content. It'll just be the actual shooting of it that is live, and then we might edit out some pieces when we do all the finalizing. So anyway, doing it consistently allows you to get better at it as it goes down the line. If you just do it like once a week, once a month, if you do like one shot every month, you're probably going to stay about at the same level that you are when you got started. Maybe you'll get a little bit better, but doing it every day definitely forces you to up your game. All right, number 3, a goal makes it easier to do. So if I would have just had, all right, if I had talked to my friend and I'd said, we're gonna shoot a bunch of videos over the next 3 months or so, I don't know if much of it would have gotten done. But the fact that it was a 90-day video challenge, I'm glad that I came up with the idea of doing like, this is day 1 of the 90-day video challenge, or day 17. That way it would hold me accountable to a certain extent, to like, if people hadn't seen it for 7 days, if there was no tracking of like where it was in the 90-day challenge, I think people would have been less likely to pay attention to it. But I'd go to seminars, I'd go home, I'd hang out with friends. They'd be like, oh, what day are you at in the challenge? And I would always know, because I had a way of like doing it in my head. So having that goal really forced me into doing it, even on days when I didn't. Now, I'll say a goal helped, a penalty also helped for me. So whether you are driven by penalties and like negative consequences like I am, or if you are driven by positive reinforcement, and you say, listen, if I do 90 days and as long as I do 80 of them, I'm gonna treat myself to this thing, then make sure that you're doing that as well. Give yourself some kind of incentive or consequence to make sure that it gets done. Number 4, write down your ideas on your phone or you're gonna forget them. That's probably the biggest one that I figured out as I was going through it. Probably the last 30 days, I've been a lot better about that, because I would end up just doing a lot of them at the end of the day, in the early, like the first like 30, 45 days of it. I was doing a lot at night. I was doing them right before I would go to bed. I would just try to think of something that happened throughout the day that I could use as a content idea. But lately, I've been writing them down more, and I've been keeping track of them in my phone, so that when I'm ready to do one, I can just look at it, come up, like see the idea, know what I was thinking at the time. But if I try to remember them when it comes time to shoot the video, I've thought about so many things since then, I just can't remember, and I can't keep them all straight in my head. So writing them down. Number 5, the more you give the audience what they want, the more engagement you're going to get. So there were a lot of videos that I did where I talked about things that I thought were important, but that you would probably need to be at a certain level to understand or see the value in what it was that I was saying. A lot of my audience, which is chiropractors, and most of these chiropractors are not doing a lot of content. So if those people, if they're not at a certain level, they might not be able to get the value out of like an advanced concept. So what I found was the more tactical videos, the like 3 things you need to do for this, or this is what I got out of this book. The things that they really like are the things that they engage with, obviously. So making sure that you're keeping that story brand model in your mind when you're creating content, which is make it about them, not about you. Don't create content that they should care about, because if they don't, they don't. Create content about what they do care about, and you'll get that through the feedback, through the engagement, through the views. So that's a really big one. And I found that more tactical advice resonates more with my audience than higher level, kind of in the clouds type stuff. Number 6, the copy really matters. So when you're shooting videos, like this video is at 9 minutes and 4 seconds. not everybody wants to wait 9 minutes to figure out what the video is about, right? And if they see that it's a longer video, they're not going to take the time to watch it to figure out if they want to watch it or not, right? So you've got to have good, concise content. I found that, just having one sentence that allows them to really understand what the video is all about was super valuable. And, again, always keeping it benefit focused for what they are looking for. And then number 7, there's more people watching than you think. So, I don't get a ton of likes. I don't get a lot of shares or comments on these videos, but when I'm out and about, I hear about them a lot. And not that everybody watches every single video, but people see it a lot. I have people coming up to me that how you're friends on Facebook with people that you don't really know that much, like you accepted a friend request or you requested something because you're in some group. There's lots of people that I'm not actually real friends with, and we don't really have a relationship. But especially with chiropractors, when I would go to events, I would have people that never would have come up and talked to me because they've been seeing my stuff consistently. It's been in their feed. Maybe they've watched a video or two. And most people just aren't super, I don't engage a lot on social media. I don't share a lot. I don't like a lot, comment a lot. So I also think you kind of get what you put out into the universe. So if you're somebody who engages more, you'll probably get more engagement. But the thing that I found was that I was surprised at how many people were following along, even though they had never engaged in any of the content. And you never know what video is going to affect somebody's life. And when we're in the healthcare space, it's almost like a duty to make sure that you are putting that content out there, helping people. Even if it helps one person change their life, it's totally worth it, especially if it's 5-10 minutes of your day. All right, so the final damage. In 90 days, I did videos 73 out of the 90 days. I had a stretch there in early August where I did not do, I missed 8 videos in 9 days. And it was kind of purposeful because I was starting to pull away. My partner in crime here was not doing a lot of videos at that point. Like, he had done, I think, 2 videos in a month. And so I started to feel a little bit bad, so I stopped doing the videos. And my girlfriend had a good point. She said that, she was like, you said you were going to do 90 videos in 90 days. It's like you need to stick to your word. And I said, yeah, you're right. And so on August 12th through the end of the 90 days, which is today, I didn't miss a day. And from here on forward, I don't think that I'll miss a day ever again, just because I've got a lot of bold plans for like the content that needs to be created that I want to implement for our plan. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to create a bunch of content. So going forward, I'm just going to basically make it like that's something I do. It's part of my checklist for the day, is that I'll create some piece of content. So I did 73 days out of 90. My friend unfortunately did 33 days out of 90. So, and that includes, I'm going to make him we're going to do a video together later today. So that'll count as his video for today. So I ended up $4,000 for the 90-day video challenge. So my girlfriend and I are heading to Italy tomorrow. We're going to Stockholm, Sweden for 24 hours, then Positano, Tuscany, Rome, and then Copenhagen for 24 hours. So we've got a nice full trip, and it'll be nice that my friend will be the benefactor for our trip. All right, so I'm excited to continue this on. We won't be doing a video challenge anymore, but we're going to keep creating content every day, trying to bring value to chiropractors and business owners out there. As my man BJ Palmer said, early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. So make sure you're getting out there, creating that content. Try to help people change their lives for the better. We've got so many. It's so easy for people to be unhealthy we've got to be putting out good, healthy content into the universe and trying to help people as much as humanly possible. So I will see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Won't be the video challenge anymore, but we'll still be creating content. All right, I'll talk to you soon.